How bad?
I don't want it badly. It's more that I want it to tilt Chris.
Really? All for that Dragon Knight?
Yeah. That's the only reason I want a Dragon Knight.
Huh.
Besides it being beefy as shit, you're recording this.
Absolutely. That's one sub.
Okay. But are you kidding me? Sheet.
Hi, guys.
Can I say sheet?
Welcome to Powerline.
I'm Kaiser.
Sky Knight. Sorry.
He's having a beer and some pretzels, a nice classic combination. So,
as you see, again, or not again, I'm without a hat today. I am indeed bald. Tragic, you know.
Alright, I can't.
Hopefully you guys can't see what I'm drinking, because we can't have that stuff on. This is a very casual video, right? Should I be drinking on the video? I shouldn't. Well, you've got a water bottle. If you're going to drink a water bottle, I'm going to have a brewski.
So, we're here today to do our usual, like, pre-regionals discussion. At least for us, we always do this before the New York events. So,
Kaiser was beating me all day today, so we decided to talk about this. Get enough of salt.
yeah, because he is a little salty right now.
It's been a long day.
Yeah. So, we think that, first of all, we should talk about the structure of the event. We recently heard news that they're doing blocks this year like they did in 2013, which is interesting. Like they're doing 2 tournaments at once, and essentially top 4 of each of these tournaments get an invite. And I think it's top 2 of each of those tournaments get their trips paid for.
I thought it would be the top person. That way they're paying for 2 people.
I think it's actually top 4.
Whatever.
I'm not sure. I don't quote me on this. I think you might be right. In fact, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. So
that's 30 days. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting to note that they're changing the format, and it came to light that the reason they're doing it is actually because of the New York event. Last year at Team League, it was so unmanageable for them. They had so many people there.
I mean, it's always been a lot of people in New York, just because the location is.
It's good. It's
good.
A great location.
It's a great location. It's accessible, literally, to everyone. And as you guys know, we're from New York, but we're from there. We live close to the location where it is. It's the Westchester County Center, so it's right off of a train line. It's right off a highway, and the airport is honestly like 10 minutes away from there.
Yeah. So I mean, like it's
with hotels like all around nearby. It is such a perfect location to have it. So it's like we get everyone from the city coming up. We get the long line of people driving up. The city people can take the train up, so it's not really too hectic for them. The people that live upstate New York can drive down or take a train down. The people who are coming from out of state can fly into Westchester Airport.
Or drive to a really affordable like hotel nearby.
Right. So it's just, I mean, it sounds like we're flexing. And just a little bit. Just kidding.
But
please don't mean that.
This is partially paying compliments to Bushy Road for actually sticking with this location. Now, the first year they used this location was Team League 2013 or 2014.
I didn't go to Team League.
It's due to 2014.
Where we were downstairs in the basement?
Yeah.
Let's start with the original location when the first singles was happening. That one was down, I think, in
Long Island.
Long Island?
Yeah, it was in Long Island.
And then there was another one in Jersey?
Yes, and then Albany. And then they finally landed this
one. No, there was Westchester, then Albany for singles.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they did one in Albany, which Albany wasn't so bad because it was actually a very pretty city. You know, Toronto likes pretty things. Very, very pretty. However, not accessible.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense, and I think they realized that because the attendance wasn't as high as some of the other events. So they didn't get, like, a lot of people there. They got a decent amount that year, but it wasn't as much as they might have liked. But, that being said, bringing us to our current location at the county center, which is now above...
More pretzels.
More pretzels?
More pretzels.
It's above ground now, so we're not in the basement, and you don't get ground zeroed, which became a term after that.
Ground zero.
So, yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of cool. I'm happy with the location. It's right near a bunch of food places too, so
Golden Cross, visit
Yeah.
Lazarus.
it's a good place. So, yeah. But now we should actually get into like the competitive state and how we kind of feel about the game right now and how I don't know. I mean, basically just how this format is. I mean, it's confirmed we're doing best of one again, so
Tier.
kind of sucks. But
I thought it was out of 3.
they were going to, and then they said, "Oh, it'll happen eventually," but it didn't happen for us, of course.
The New York City Rush Stars.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. But how do you feel going into this event?
As I eat a pretzel. Go ahead.
Fun. I feel alright. I mean, I haven't had a ton of time recently because I've had a lot of family stuff going on, so I've pretty much committed to just using Kagero for the event, and that's that. I mean, I don't really have the time to sit down and learn anything new or spend the money on it. I mean, it's my favorite deck right now. It's what I feel comfortable using, and that's that.
I'm playing Mega Colony. Why? This is totally out of my comfort zone. Not Mega Colony, but explaining my choices.
Yes.
Because I feel, I feel where the game has developed right now, it's mostly control and rush. Tempo decks don't really have a place for the game, and most of the decks that are winning are multiple attack decks. And it used to be swing for high numbers every single time and win, which was like made
Before
in
G Guardians.
Yeah, before G Guardians was like made in and other decks that like had high powers. But now I feel it's the control decks are more prevalent, or there's more of a presence of control decks, i.e. Kagero.
In New York, it's interesting to note that most of the decks here are Paladin based though. And even though Shadow Paladins aren't as good as they used to be,
Which blows my mind because nothing really happened for them to take a backseat to it. I don't know what happened with set 8 or set 7.
it's just
If
not
I
as
can,
good now.
if I can just rant a little bit, I don't know what happened in set 7 where
Shadow Paladins
fell from
Kagero.
grace.
The fact you can Griffin them and basically destroy their turn, defeat Flare, destroy their that's why.
One clan cannot set a whole.
Right now, Bushiroad kind of messed up with Denial Griffin. Why do you think the Mega Colony G Guard that's coming out doesn't have an effect like rest these units? Or rest to the front row? Because you can rest the back row, right? Yeah. So like.
Dark face all the way.
But yeah, so it's gonna be a good event, but I think we should talk about like specific decks. I think that'd be a good.
Are we doing it? So as you guys know, we always do this back before.
But
it
this
comes
year,
out.
I mean, like it's kind of hard to sit down and go clan by clan because really the game's kind of. It's not degenerate right now, but it's very much. What?
Go on.
It's very much a format where there are very specific decks that are prevalent for a good reason.
I think we should talk about all the clans.
Okay, let's do it. So,
Starting off, United Sanctuary.
Royal Paladins first.
Yep.
Royal Paladin builds that work.
As always, you know.
Sanctuary Guard. The deck won't die. It's really good still. I mean, its early game is great, and now with the blaster stuff, it's even better. You have Thing Saber Blaster if you want to play a Restanding Vanguard and try and go for the gimmick turns, but the most popular deck in New York is probably Sanctuary Guard Blaster still.
I mean, there are some out decks running around.
But not as strong as the others, unfortunately.
I think I think Royal Paladins now have just become blaster.deck.
It's Helmet, though. If you draw Flogel and Blaster Blade, you're kind of golden.
Alright, what's next? Shadow Paladins.
Yeah, Shadows. I mean,
Raging
Revengers, like Raging Form, I mean, they are a gimmick deck. It's good in best of one because you can steal games by going first and getting off that combo, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big fan of inconsistency and relying on gimmicks, so I don't think I can play that deck. And I also think that, God forbid your opponent like survives that, or they have the advantage and like they stride first, they get ahead on you, because that deck doesn't play stride enablers. It can't. so you have to hard stride. It's really. I don't think Revengers right now are the best choice. I think if there was any shadow deck that I would consider taking the event, it would be Diablo.
Gust Blast the Dragon. No? No, just me? Okay.
Diablo or Claret Sword's not horrible, but probably Diablo. But even then, it's, once again, I mean, the deck just falls out of favor with G Guardians. Just how it is.
Good.
And the fact that Shadow Paladin's G Guardian is awful, like, is just terrible.
Worse than Narukami?
No, we're not going there.
We can't go there because I already put us there.
Alright. It's pretty much worse than Narukami.
Alright.
Angel Fang.
Gold Paladins.
Or, okay, Gold Paladins. Bluish Flames still exist, but they're not as strong as Gurgwit, which is kind of the main choice right now because the deck's able to, as we have affectionately named it, Big Dick Gurgit them and slap them in the face with it, basically, and just use Gurgit's effect 2 times in turn and just hope to kill them. And while this format is not numbers-based, it's kind of hard to deny that the ability to wipe your opponent's hand out in just 1 turn is kind of ridiculous.
Especially when they're at 4-5.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like death. Death. Hi, Dashi sponsors. So
Bluish Flames and Gurgwit?
that's pretty much it. I mean, is there anything else I'm missing?
Ezel?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Or Azel?
yeah, I think, when I think of Azel, I think of the hybrid Gurgwit build, because that's really popular right now, because Link Joker's still a bad matchup, so if you use that, you kind of get around that. But
Just like how the Royal Paladins may be running
Alfred is the
exit.
backup, yeah. It's just how it is. So, that's pretty much it for golds. I mean, it's a very strong choice. I think it's pretty good, but I don't know. I still think this format's heavily control more than anything. Or I feel control has the best favor here. So,
We're at least getting there with the upcoming technical booster.
oh yeah, no, the Mega Colony stuff's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Genesis. Fenrir and Fenrir. That's it. I mean, it's good because it stalls. You just use the stand trigger to keep recycling until your opponent decks out, I guess. But I don't like that. So, I mean, if you want to play Fenrir and be that guy that makes me sit there for 30 minutes after the round wondering why am I waiting here for 30 minutes, go ahead, but
That's an Angel card.
yeah. Oh, we'll get there now then. Angel Feathers. 2 builds, still no CL, and then the hybrid Gabriel and no CL. I feel the no CL deck itself has kind of fallen out of favor, partially because of Kagero and partially because you don't really go for the Refros loop as much anymore with all the rescue stuff. Refros is still a fantastic card, and like you can still go for it, but I still think that the hybrid build has a more well-rounded matchup, especially with Control being so popular. I think having Gabriel in there and Harut is really important right now.
I know nothing.
Yeah.
I just get beat by it.
What's next after that? Are you forgetting the United States Trade Plan?
Oh, yes. Yes, and there's going to be just like somewhere on the video for that. Oracle Think Tank.
No. It has nothing. Tom is even worse now that G Guardians exist. Tom's a good card. Gets murdered by G Guardians though. So easy to play around.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
Tom.
yeah.
Rip.
All right. So where do we want to go next?
But if you are playing OTT,
Play Coco.
you're playing.
Play Coco.
I would definitely say Scarlet Witch Coco, the Witch build, is your best bet to play, because it offers an interesting amount of pressure to your opponent. And a lot of people will be playing the Coco Susano build, but I just prefer the straight
Pure Witch
Witch build.
is
Just
better.
It is better, and the ability just to, when your opponent's at 5, you just keep striding into that Witch build. At that point, it's not about power, but more about just using that ability to try to force cards out of your opponent's hands. Because where OTT is right now, they don't really have anything.
They're in this weird state of like, they draw a lot, and they play Tom.
And that used to be okay.
That used to be okay, but like now it's like, all right, with everything going on in this game, that's not enough anymore. Easy.
It's kind of like, I kind of look at it as Gold Paladins, where all the strides that Gold Paladins had was superior call, superior call, superior call. But the question is, what do I do with all of this?
And now they finally got something to tie it together. But
Gurgrit and that other dragon.
Scourgepoint?
No. Well, Scourgepoint's an amazing card, but the other dragon. The one from the start deck.
Oh, I mean, like, it's okay.
It's okay. Like, I think if you have all the cards on the field, I think it's... If you already have cards in the field and you're not going to be superior calling, I think that's a card to go into other than Gurgrit.
But really, you go for Gurgrit when you can.
I'm just saying, if you don't want to use up more of your resources, i.e. your deck or your counterblast, I think that card's a great card to go into. But again, OTT doesn't really have anything. Like, you go... Like, you can go into the Susanoo Stride, but if you're playing the Witch build, like, if they're at 5 damage, I'd rather just go into the Witch Stride and be like, discard a card to lose a game. Or discard a card? Discard 2 cards to lose a game. It's one of those two. Yeah. Discard 2 cards to lose a game. That seems a lot stronger when they're at 5 than going into Susanoo. I think Susanoo would be...
It's garbage.
Would be to get them at 5.
But even then, it's like, I mean, I always stand by, generally speaking, unless a card that gains a crit does something in addition to it to make it, like, valuable, it's just going to run into a perfect art, usually.
Like all your Titans.
Yep. Titans.
Alright. To the Dragon Empire. Excuse me, I'm going to get more...
Selection?
Yeah.
We'll start with Kagero. So, you can play Blade Master, and that's cute. But really, I know that was a dick thing to say. But like, really, you just play Overlord. It has too much stuff not to play it. I specifically stand by Legend being the best build. It's fun.
I have no authority here.
Yeah, because you don't like Overlord at all.
No.
So I don't know. I mean, Griffin's insane. I mean, it's just. The deck is very well.
Alright, Narukami.
Yeah, let's go. Oh god, no. Even
Brawlers.
Brawlers, Kaiser, Vanquisher, and Indra. Don't play Indra. For the love of God, don't play Indra. But the only deck that I feel, I mean, alright. Brawlers are okay, but it falls into tempo where, like, it doesn't really have a place right now until they get something more, or Narukami gets other tools to work with. Kaiser, I mean, you could hit really good numbers because of Warning and then Conquest, but once again, you have to first stride into Zoras, and it kind of has to hit now because the G-Guard's terrible.
And you need to have to hit because you also have Chatteras.
Yeah, but you're more likely to hit with Zoras than you are with Chatteras.
Brawlers are okay. It's just I don't think
they don't have a place right now.
I feel like it can work, but just with everything else that's out there,
it's not as good.
It's like Shadow Powers.
Yeah. But then, like, I think if I'm being honest, I would take, out of those builds, I'd probably take Vanquisher. It has the most stuff right now. Because of...
If we're being real, and this is probably one of the few times where I'm actually, like, thinking, and not just playing on the card looks, I do think Vanquisher is probably the best deck around. With a lot of cards that are now dipping into the drop zone, for effects and other utility type stuff, I think Thunderstrike, as well as Vanish Delete, are excellent abilities to start attacking your opponent. So with Gear Chronicle and their one of the G guards and other random cards in the deck, just dipping into the drop zone to go and put back into their main deck, I think it's actually excellent that you can start ripping cards out of their drop zone, as well as for Kagero and Burnout. I think definitely just start ripping cards out of them.
I mean, I guess that's cool, but at the same time, I think it's more the idea that right now with Narukami's current support pool, they don't really have a good first stride, and Zoras actually benefits Vanquisher on some level, like that deck. So it's like, I just think that right now, it pains me to say it, but Vanquisher is probably the build I would take. I love Crimson to death, but the fact that I would have to first stride Zoras kind of hurts. Just how it is.
Vanquisher. Alright, what's next?
Tachikaze. I would probably take, if I had to take a build, it would probably be Gaia. And it's very slow, so like it has the same issue as any other G-Break deck, but I don't know, I mean, there are definitely games you could cheese out wins by restanding. Simple as that. Gluttony Dogma them, and do it again, and again, and again. So, yeah, that's pretty much it with Tachis. I mean, do you have anything to add? Ancient Dragons are really the only build. And then Rex is kind of, it's okay. What else are we forgetting from Dragon Empire? Kagero, Narukami, Chikaze.
I know.
Oh,
Nubatama.
Oh, and Murakumo.
Yep.
Nubatama can cheese out some wins if they want to. Super hard. Cheese them wins out.
Yasui Break Ride. That way you get the best of both worlds. And then Murakumo.
Restand. And attack from behind a lot.
I don't think... Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Right now, they get more stuff that's kind of cool in the Technical Booster. We'll do a video on that.
Aye.
But, yeah. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
That's it for Dragon. Dark Zone? Where do you want to go next?
Wherever you want to go.
Dark Zone. Dark Regulars. With the advent of G-Guardians, the deck got a little bit worse because the Gilderea's turn, where you think you can't guard it anymore, kind of becomes a little bit more manageable, but... Oh, that's why I had Screw You in there. That's why. But... I don't know. I think it's a pretty good deck. It could steal wins away from people who might think they have a false sense of security. All of a sudden you can hit them in the face with like a giant Gilderea that they can't block. So that's pretty good. But...
so what you're saying is it
it's
Gilderea.deck?
Yeah.
Or?
Well, I mean, they have more stuff now.
I would say the most landing build would be Shahar.
What's it? It's a Mon, Shaharlet, and Reggie. Reggie's alright.
Reggie, if you wanted Reggie Sullivan for a defensive build, but I think Shahar would be probably more offensive build.
What about the Amon build?
What about the Amon build?
I still feel like the Amon build's good because of the starter.
Legion, put cards back.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big standing authority on Dark Regulars. I'm just like giving my feedback of Gilderea being a threatened card. I think Shaharlet's cool though. Franco enjoys it a lot.
Good, Franco. Shout out. Woo!
What's next? Oh, Spike Brothers. You talk about this one.
Oh boy. Again, Break Ride Legion, always a thing. Exceptional expertise. Alright, cool. Pale Moon.
Harry.
I'm not hating. It's just...
He's a little upset because we know somebody that top-aided Team League with it.
With exceptional expertise, and I still don't understand it, and everyone's been talking it up, but I don't understand it. But again, the set was just for the Stride thing, and there wasn't really anything else for like the Break Ride Legion, wasn't really anything for Deadly Jessica. So pretty much, the Break Ride Legion is the same. It's pretty much the same deck with like maybe like 1 or 2 cards. So moving on, come on.
Harry.
That's pretty much it.
I know Silver Thorn's got some things, but I haven't really
It's not good
been
enough.
hearing people playing Silver Thorns.
They play Harry. The ability to like call stuff out with magic. That didn't sound good. And just like not go plus, but like just basically not have to commit a lot and just get a bunch of stuff out. It's pretty good. Has a bad Shadow Paladin matchup inherently, just
Ah,
because you don't have it on board, you could Diablo them. Steal
Spike
them.
Brothers,
Yeah. So,
if they live.
but I don't know. That's pretty much it with like Pale Moon.
Alright,
Gear Chronicle.
Gear Chronicle. Nextage.deck.
Or Chrono Fang, but we don't talk about Chrono Fang.
You don't talk about Chronofang.
It's not as good as Jet though.
I mean, Bind Time Dragon's a thing. But I feel people are still gonna be playing Chrono Jet, not deck.
Yeah, just nextage. Just a lot of nextage.
I mean, I wanna. There may be some deviants out there playing Chrono Fang, Chrono Jet, but I don't think people will be able to live with the permanent bind.
No.
away, especially
No.
if they're not running
And the builds,
Radar.
and it's important to note that Time Leap is still a very central part of the deck. So that's pretty. I mean, like between Time Leap and then going into Nextage, like it's really not easy to play, but like once you get off, like you kind of have a really easy time.
All I do is win.
It also gets around Denial Griffin with Malum and upstream. Interesting to note.
Alright, next nation.
Uh,
I mean I know off the top of my head. I just want him to think.
Zoo,
Tazoo.
Mega Colony, Darkface, Giraffe, and Machining. All three are fine. I think Giraffe kind of falls out of favor just because it's a tempo deck right now. A little bit.
I don't disagree.
Right now, at least, until they get the new stuff.
Still don't disagree. He's right. Giraffe is a tempo deck.
So,
It has the elements of control.
but not enough to like be that sweet control you like. Can I get some pencils? Do you have any over there? Pass me. Thanks, bro.
Darkface, the control deck, excellent. I've
Who's
seen
the better?
people run Break Ride Break Ride Darkface, which offers the element that it is missing for selling the Vanguard if you do it properly. And then Machining's great, especially if you catch someone.
Yeah, if you destroy them and they can't ride or stride, it's pretty bad.
Especially if you do it back to back. What's next?
Great Nature. It's still pretty much Leopold or Tester Fox. And
It's not Leopold.
I'm just saying Leopold because you like Leopold.
I do like Leopold, but
No, it's still-
I'm real.
It's still Tester Fox.
It's the Break Ride deck, and a good amount of people playing Big Belly.
Not that many do right now.
So yeah, Break Ride deck.
After that,
Break Ride Crane Attack that deck.
yeah. What should we talk about after that?
We still got one more plan. Asha.
Hello, everyone.
We're back.
We're back.
Technical difficulties.
Turns out our recording device did not record the last quarter of it, so we are going to redo it right now, starting from, I believe, Asha. So, we're Neonectar. Basically, Asha is really the only deck that you should play right now. It's the only one that pushes hard enough to do anything,
You could play Maiden Elves.
but it's just okay.
Hmm?
It's just okay, though.
It's okay. You get access to the Legion, which helps you for a push if you're unable to. And that's pretty much it. Or cheeky first turn plays if you don't feel like striding.
Yeah, it's pretty feels bad.
Feels bad? Feels okay.
Feels okay. Asha's better, though.
Gosh, it's better.
Alright, so now we go into Megan Gallagher.
Although shout outs to
Hello.
Musketeers.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Hey,
All right.
coming in. Guys, we have a special guest.
Who?
Come.
Oh, hell no. Okay. All right.
That's guys, that is my mother. It was her birthday yesterday, so shout out to Ma Duke. Say hi.
Happy birthday.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
hell. Okie dokie. All
Do you have
right.
anything to say for our fans, views?
No, I'm still trying to figure out that you actually taped Terrell doing that dance in Central Park.
He handed it to me and said, Sean, do it. And I said no. And his response was, I do everything else.
Okay. All right. And did you know how it was going to look?
Yes, and I, as his friend, supported him in his decision to dance.
Okay.
This is going in.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm good.
You know what I do? I have to put a picture in a picture of my mom whenever she's talking.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, so Mangalica. No.
Yes.
Aquaforce starting out. Blue Wave and Thavis are really the only two builds you should be playing. And I
Mhm.
kind of lean towards Thavis now because of its very good control matchup.
Yes. Yes.
So I approve.
Um,
We're kind of speeding by because, like, honestly,
we already did this
we
once.
already did this and it's kind of like...
Feels bad. We went on a. Anyways, there are people who do play who will play Maelstrom.
it's not as good.
Actually, it's okay. It's okay if you're one of those people that want to go first and hit the people with the limit break. It's not bad. It's not bad. There are some decks that actually would rather go first and use the limit break stuff to attack your opponent. So not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for Aquaforce, though. Gets really screwed over by Kagero, but what doesn't right now? Gears don't.
Oh, everything does to an extent. Next is Grand Brewer.
Grand Blue. Play 7 Seas, 9 Roses is too slow. 7 Seas is insane. It's still a really good deck. I really like 7 Seas. I almost made it. It's really fun. Tanks up really easily, multiple attacks. Pretty much good matchups against everything.
Yeah, the only way really to like counteract it is start attacking your opponent's hand.
And even then, like, they have like 15 cards.
Yeah, it's more of kill them before they kill you.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Bermuda's Sticky Waifus. The new stuff, like, I don't really know it that well. It's more aware of it.
The new stuff is pretty. The new stuff that's going to be out, that people have like a week to play with it, roughly before our event comes through, and it's pretty much just a giant supporting set, which I'm okay with because Bermuda Triangles usually don't have supporting sets. They usually just have, here's a new mechanic, everything's going to support this mechanic, go. So this is probably one of the first sets that they get that they actually just have supporting stuff, which is really, really good for them. I heard from one of my buddies who plays Bermudas religiously that Prisms are hot right now. I think Larius
And Vert.
and Vert are good deck choices as well for it. And then you got our buddy Johnny who's just going to enter in with Pacifica because crits are real.
Yes.
He's not wrong. Like, crits. And he has, and this is a supporting set. He's not wrong.
Let that sink in.
My dude, when every turn you can go into a stride that has a crit every single turn.
I agree, but I'm just saying.
Yes, you'll run into a perfect guard. There's only so many perfect guards that they're
I'm
gonna
saying
have.
you just said Johnny is not wrong.
I stand by that statement, and it's hurting my soul. Gotta go watch on my mouth episode. All right, where are we at to?
That's it.
Stargate.
Stargate. Blink Joker. Play
Chaos.
Chaos Breaker. It's good in this format. Control is good.
Messiahs, still a thing.
Oh yeah,
But-
I forgot that.
But it's only those two, to be honest.
Yeah, and even then, like, Messiahs are too slow to really do much.
I mean, this is not a fast format.
No, but I'm saying they're too slow from the get-go. They don't do a lot. There's not, it doesn't do as much as Chaos.
But you can say the same for Gear Chronicle. You can say the same for Asha. You can say the same for
No.
Outlaw.
I could say that, alright, yes. For Asha, I can. For...
If it's a G-Break Altmal, so
Yes.
those few Brave players that are playing Brave.
No, I can agree with that, but Gears, no, they're super fast. You go into Metallica Phoenix first stride and you basically rip.
Dude, turns grade 1 through 3 before you strike. The deck does nothing.
Relic Master.
How many people you know are playing Relic Master?
Enough that it's warrants. It's true. Play Relic Master. Anyway.
Can it even fit between your upstreams and your history makers? And the Moodars aren't bad.
You play 4 upstream, 4 history maker, 3 Relic Master. Or you play 4 Relic Master. It depends on how you feel about it. Just saying.
Can't let you do that.
Moving on.
Moving on to
Nova Grapplers.
Nova Grapplers.
Play Victor.
Victor.
Or Beast Deities. But Victor's like a little bit more explosive.
Victor is probably the best. Again, it's still kind of slow in early game because you really don't have anything to do before you unleash your generation break. So if you want something a bit more early game, you would end up playing Beast Deities because they actually do the same thing just earlier.
But they're not as explosive as Victor.
And the power's really not behind them for that.
They just do a lot of little pokes more than anything.
Again,
Sasanda like kind of makes Victor better.
Again, they are the exact same deck except one has an early game, the other one doesn't, and they're both in different time zones. To be honest.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you can say it. They're both in different time zones.
Wow, there's a lot we forgot in actually the last video. D-Police.
D-Police. All right, get them.
Cosmic Heroes, D-Robos, Metalborgs. Metalborgs aren't as good right now because of G-Guardians, so I wouldn't recommend that. Cosmic Heroes kind of run into a perfect guard, but they are a little more well-rounded in terms of how they interact with the game, just because they can hit higher rear numbers as well. And then I think D-Robos are probably the best builder right now in this format. Guard Break is still really strong.
Especially with a lot of people moving away from Dismal. Not because Dismal's a bad card, just because with the options that are coming around, a lot of people aren't running Dismal. Especially with the new clans. So like Bermudas might not be running Dismal anymore. The clans that got released in Set 7 aren't running Dismals unless you're Angels that you want to protect one of your cards. So D-Robos are looking pretty good. As he says, Cosmic Heroes tend to run into the perfect guard, but the other two rear guards that you're probably gonna be swinging with are, at least 21k out the gate. So again, another perfect guard, another G guard. So you're at that point just gonna be ripping cards out of your opponent's hands at each turn. So Cosmic Heroes is a good choice. As he said, with Metalborgs,
G-Guards hurt the deck a lot.
Laurel took a hit.
Yeah.
Laurel took an absolute hit. Like I know we was like, oh, you could protect your Laurel with it with a Dismal or you could with the thing, but now it's just
they just kill it.
Laurel took a hit. I'm sorry to say, Metalborgs I think is fantastic for Laurel, but it just doesn't fit anymore. At least I think that's just opinion. Let us know in the comment section below. And lastly, for the last place is Token Rambu.
I don't recommend touching those things.
Guys, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. They don't have their own G guards.
That alone should warrant that.
But it's just
they don't have
outside from the front rear guard control that they offer. The deck just doesn't have enough to support proper builds. And I've been playing the deck for quite some time, and it's. As I love the way the clan looks and the aesthetics and the mechanic is kind of cool, but I just don't think it's enough to help the clan. But hey, if someone tops with it, I'll be more than happy.
Prove us wrong. Just prove us wrong.
I'm more than happy to admit that I'm wrong on camera. Any final thoughts, comments, concerns, questions?
Honestly, that's pretty much it. I mean, we just kind of went deck by deck and how we feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think there's much else to say, but good luck to anyone who's going, and if you see us, be sure to stop by and say hi.
Take a selfie, we could put it up on our Twitters. Or
we do have that,
yeah. And, as always, I'll be recording matches at the singles, so if you want a match with Kaiser or myself, just feel free.
Request us,
and we'll do so. I think Kaiser, by that time, will have his own camera that he'll be carrying by then, so... camera and tripod, so let us know.
Alright guys, later.
Latest.
Alright, I want to play now.